What's up gamers, DreamcastGuy here, and it's Top 10 Thursday. A long time ago in a galaxy far away, one of the greatest sci-fi series of all time was born. Star Wars has created so many grand, fantastic stories, but perhaps the best thing to come from this universe are the video games. In honor of The Force Awakens coming out in just a few short weeks, I wanted to count down my picks of the top 10 Star Wars games. Number 10. Star Wars Republic Commando. This stylish tactical shooter isn't what you might expect. The game opens not with a battle, but with your birth. You and your brothers are clones, specifically created and trained to handle the toughest of missions. Going to war as these expendable soldiers gives us an interesting look at how chaotic the universe really is. It's a rare shooter that makes you think about each battle you get into. It makes you respect the soldiers that fight with you, even if they are just clones. Number 9. Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2. Some of the best scenes from the Star Wars movies are the epic space fights, and in this game you get to be the one in the pilot seat. When you take to the skies, it's all about freedom. Flying is quick and easy, and each level gives you an interesting task to complete with these great controls. Whether you're soaring over the icy plains of Hoth and using your trip cable to take down AT-ATs, or if you're chasing down enemy jets above a planet, everything works so well, and it keeps you coming back for more. Number 8. Star Wars Bounty Hunter. Of all the fascinating characters of this franchise, one of the most intriguing is Jango Fett. This deadly bounty hunter always gets his prey, but for once, his target may be a little bit more than he can handle. He stalks a group of Force-worshipping crazies and their insane leader, all to collect a 5 million credit payout. Perhaps the best thing about this game is the large array of weapons you're equipped with. You have laser pistols, flamethrowers, and even wrist-mounted rocket launchers, all to keep you safe when walking into impossible situations. Number 7. Super Star Wars. This side-scrolling run-and-gun action game is a little strange at first, but its curious gameplay is part of what makes it so outstanding. Luke Skywalker is setting out to defend the galaxy, and apparently the best way to do this is by shooting the crap out of everything. Honestly, this plays a lot more like Contra than anything else. The screen is full of hectic moments, like sliding down a ramp and trying to blast robotic mines before they kill you, or doing flips from one elevator to the next inside the Death Star. Although it doesn't stick to what the movies were about, it's goofy fun all the same. Number 6. Star Wars Jedi Power Battles. I will admit that Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, is one of the worst things ever made, but this game is so good it almost makes up for it. The story opens with our characters on a Trade Federation battleship. You get to choose your favorite Jedi and team up to cut down the Sith, eventually even facing Darth Maul himself. Combat in this game is incredibly addicting, because the more you play, the more you unlock. You get extra combos and even extra force abilities. It's one of those rare games that becomes more badass each time you play it. Number 5. Star Wars Battlefront 2. When it comes to large-scale online shooters, Battlefront is the master of its art. Gameplay is fast, it's intense, and it's all built around maps that have hundreds of individual units all going head to head. If you're just wanting to play single player, the campaign is excellent even on its own. The story follows a veteran soldier, recounting some of the most important moments of the Clone Wars, and letting us fill the shoes of the war's most epic heroes. While running around and accomplishing objectives, if you do well, you can get a special power-up that'll let you become one of the characters from the films, and basically decimate the enemy army. My personal favorite is transforming into General Grievous and using my 4 lightsabers to tear my foes to shreds. Number 4. LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga. Normally, I have trouble getting into the LEGO games. It's nothing against them personally, it's just the art style is a little bit jarring to me. This game is the one exception to that rule. It's your job to smash up the world, collect bricks, and use your building skills to save the day. Trying to conquer all 72 missions can take hours to complete, but it's worth it to get access to all the sweet bonus characters. This game has a staggering 160 playable heroes. Frankly, some of them don't even make sense. For example, I'm not exactly sure why Indiana Jones is in this game, but I think it adds to its quirky charm all the same. Number 3. Star Wars The Force Unleashed. Meet Starkiller, a young man with an incredible gift. He is one of the most powerful Force users of all time. After being discovered by Darth Vader as a child, he was raised to be a top-secret assassin, to eradicate the last of the Jedi Order and rule the universe as Vader's second in command. Seeing Starkiller fight is nothing short of raw brutality. With his skills, he can decimate the toughest stormtroopers, crush AT-STs with the drivers still inside, and during one dramatic moment, even uses his might to pull a Star Destroyer out of orbit. All the while, Starkiller walks a unique path in the Star Wars story. He's not quite pure evil, but he's not quite pure good. It's up to us to question whether or not he's just a puppet of the dark side, or the only person who can set things right. Number 2. Star Wars Jedi Knight 2. This game knows how good it feels to truly earn something. For the first 30% of the game, it just plays like your standard first-person shooter. You have a laser rifle to deal out some justice, but when you get your true Jedi weaponry, the game changes tone completely. At first glance, things look simple, and yet there's a lot of interesting subtlety to the fighting. Throwing your lightsaber like a giant deadly boomerang can chop up an enemy from afar, but it leaves you weak. Keeping the blade close to you lets you deflect laser blasts, at the cost of being unable to hurt people at range. It makes even small encounters feel like a chess game, always worrying about the proper placement for each situation. To add further complexity, as you level up, you choose whether you want to go up the good side or the dark side of the Force to gain extra abilities like Force Speed if you're a good guy, or Force Lightning if you want to be evil. Jedi Outcast is a rare gem that makes you understand how hard it is to be a Jedi, and makes you love every second of it. Number 1. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Set 4,000 years before the rise of the Galactic Empire, this RPG gives us a very unique look at an older, more hardened version of the Star Wars tale. The Sith are gaining power, trying to raise their armies and take over the galaxy, and the only person who stands in their way is you. This game is a classic RPG to its core. You walk around, ask questions, gather clues, and end up killing everyone in the process. Since it's a BioWare title, everything is about the choices you make. Every conversation has branching paths with wildly different outcomes. If you mind your manners and play nice, you might get extra information that saves you time, or you can choose to be a total dick and possibly threaten extra clues out of somebody. There are so many opportunities to either be a saint or the world's biggest asshole, and that's part of the appeal of this game. Even while saving the entire galaxy, I can take the time to tell my crewmate Karth that he's a whiny loser before flying off to the next encounter. Knights of the Old Republic lets you set foot in the Star Wars universe, carve out your own piece of the amazing story, and have an awesome time doing it, and for that reason, it wins my pick as the absolute best Star Wars game. Thanks so much for watching, gamers. If you enjoyed this video, use the Force to hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. But do me the biggest favor of all and keep dreaming. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked this video, maybe check out my last video. Please subscribe, and if you want, share this somewhere with your friends.